Hi, I'm Carrie, and I'm a communications analyst at Key Financial. And I just want to welcome you to our keynotes video. So in honor of Mother's Day, we thought it would be really fun to interview the president and CEO of Key Financial, who also happens to be the mother of 4, Patti Brennan. So to just give you a little background on Patti, in 1990, she decided to turn her laundry room into a small office workspace. Now, prior to this time, she was working as an entry-level financial advisor during the weekdays, while on the weekends, she was working nights as a nurse in the intensive care unit. Now, as if that wasn't enough on her plate, she also had a 2-year-old son at home, and between herself and her husband, Ed, the two of them barely had 2 pennies to rub together. But Patti had a dream. She had this idea of what real financial planning should look like, and she just felt that at the time, the financial industry just wasn't meeting that need. So in her search to try and fulfill that, she decided, you know what? I'm going to create it myself. And over the next 25 years, she worked and worked and worked. And sure enough, that small little laundry room ended up turning into an incredibly successful business. Today, Patti is cited by Forbes, by Barron's, by the Financial Times as being one of the top financial advisors in America. Now, if you're watching this video, she may be your friend, or she may be your trusted financial advisor, or you may not know her at all. But to me, she's Mom. So in honor of Mother's Day, we thought, you know what, let's take a peek behind the curtain. We all know Patti Brennan, the financial advisor, but what about Patti Brennan, the mom? And actually, how do the two fit together? You know, what got her started in the first place, and what keeps her going in the 11th hour? And how in the world did she do all of this while simultaneously raising 4 kids, let alone one like me? So I'm so excited, she's so excited, we're gonna have an awesome time, and we're so happy that you're tuning in with us. So without further ado, hi Mom.
Hi Carrie.
Oh man, thank you so much for being here today. You know, I know your schedule is always crazy, but you always make time for the important things. Yeah. So thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much for coming up with this. This is really a privilege. It's an honor.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Of course. So I just gave them a little background info on you, and I think whenever I tell people your story, what excites me the most and what I just still today blows my mind is that you built this business and you built your career while also raising 4 kids. It's wild, you know? And when people ask me, you know, what was it like having a mom who, you know, is a financial advisor and works and is a boss, but also is you know, raised you. And you know, there's that old adage of where the parents are super successful and they, you know, throw money at their kids and they don't know how to love them, and there's that disconnect. Sure. But when I think about my childhood, oh my God, I had a great childhood. I had a killer childhood. Like, you know.
Okay, the interview's over. That's all I need to know.
You did. Yeah. It's true.
Awesome.
Like,
Thank you. Thank you.
Man, it was a house of freedom and of love, really.
Yeah.
You know, and then contrast that with coming to Key Financial 2 years ago when you gave me the opportunity to work part-time here. And it's so interesting because there are similarities and differences also, you know. I saw the similarities of, you know, we had there was so much love in our family and our house, and in Key Financial too, there's so much love. But also at the same time, you know, I started working here and seeing the inner veins of the business, and I thought, wow, like, you know, she runs a pretty tight ship here. She does. So I'm just curious, you know, how has being a mother influenced you as a CEO?
You know, it's a really good question. I don't know that I've ever really thought about it that way, but I guess there probably are some similarities. I think that when I think about you, Carrie, and all 4 kids, right? You're very different than Kelly, even though you're only 20 months apart, right?
Yeah.
And you two are different than Michael and Jack. Like, each one of you is unique. You have your gifts. And to me, like as a parent, I just wanted to make sure that all along the way, I was able to help you to recognize and learn what your unique gift is. and to create the environment to nurture that and to watch it grow as you become, you know, a young adult and begin to run with that gift. I guess to a certain extent, that's kind of what I do at work too. I mean, each person that works here has their own unique gift. We've got people who are math, like magicians, literally, who know algorithms, etc. Great writers. We've got our own in-house MacGyver, and each person is so important because together we create an experience for clients that, again, I don't know of many firms that are doing for their clients on a consistent basis what we're able to do for our clients. So it's, you know, I guess it's as a mom, you know, you kind of try and figure out and help you to recognize what your gifts are in a recognition that the seasons of your life are changing and the world is changing all around us too. So helping you to navigate all of that with, you know, dignity and confidence and go out into the world to try and do things that you were meant to do.
Yeah, that's so interesting that you say that, because it reminds me of so many, honestly, so many stories that where you have tried to pull out that gift, and you know, you always you tell me, you know, good leaders are people that can recognize the gifts in their teammates and pull that out of them. Mm-hmm. There's one time in particular when, and you're gonna know this as soon as I say it, that reminds me of pulling out the gift in your kids, and it was when I was on the swim team. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget it. I was in 2nd grade, and you and I decided that summer that I was going to learn how to swim, and I was going to learn how to swim well, you know? Yeah. Little did I know that it was 7:15 practice, Monday through Friday in the summer, you know, which I was like, it was the death of me. Right. So, as if that wasn't bad enough, surprise, surprise, I was an awful swimmer. I was terrible. And it was brutal. I mean, it was really brutal going to practice every single day. And I would just swallow gallons of water, and everyone would laugh at me, and I had no friends on the team. It was hard, you know? Mm-hmm. And you just kept telling me, just show up. Keep showing up, Carrie. Just try and do your best, you know? And I would go to the swim meets, and I was just so bad.
It was fun watching. It was you were all arms. There were no legs, so you were dragging your butt to the bottom of the pool. I'm like, come on, Carrie, come on, kick those feet. There's a way you can do it. It was so funny, but you were just so determined, so trying to get to the other side of the pool.
Yeah. Like getting to the warm up was a feat in itself, you know. And I made it. I ended up making it to the end of the summer. And of course we had championship trials. Mm-hmm. I got to the end of the pool. Of course, didn't make the championships by any stretch of the term, you know. So I was basically done for the season. So we had our championship swim meet. I was in my shorts and my tank top. I was there to cheer on my sister. I was a happy kid. And of course, I went to the championship because the banquet was after, and they had great food at the banquet. So of course I was going to go. Yeah. So then we had the banquet and the awards, so, you know, I'll never forget it. I'm sitting there on the grass, and I'm eating my banquet food, and they're giving away the awards, you know, top and breaststroke, top and free. And then, all of a sudden, I heard my name. And before I could even say, hey, you know, you got the wrong kid, she said, Karis Brennan for most improved. Mm-hmm. And oh man, and I looked at you, and like that was our moment, you know, like we knew what that meant, and you were just so proud of me. You had tears just like streaming down your face, you know, just like that, like you were so proud of me. And you know, as someone who's the best at what they do, I think that it would be human nature to want to kind of put that pressure on your kids to be the all-star and be the best. But I never felt that. I always felt encouraged to just do my best. Don't be the best. Mm-hmm. And I feel so grateful to have a parent that instilled that in me, you know, because a lot of kids don't get that. And I'm just wondering, like, where did you get that philosophy from? Or what is that all about?
I remember that like it was yesterday. I felt that again when you were telling the story, Carrie. It just is, you know, I guess I never believed that you guys would excel because you had a parent who was kind of barking at you.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that if you were going to do your best, it was because that came from within you. To me, like, I just feel like my role as your mom was to kind of give you exposure into lots of different areas and to believe in you. It wasn't that you were, you know, that you were beating the other kids on the swim team. To me, the most important thing is that you got first in your lane. You were first in your lane, that's all that mattered. You hit that wall. You didn't give up. And it's like a muscle. Like, I just felt like if I could encourage you to kind of develop that muscle as you were growing up, the muscle of doing things that you didn't think that you could do, trying in spite of the fear that you felt that kids would laugh at you or that you wouldn't be good enough or that you weren't going to be the champion, but still doing it. Like, develop that muscle of resilience and grit and not giving up. You're going to kill it. Because once you apply that into something that you really love, that's something that you're naturally good at, again, using your unique ability and having those strong muscles of resilience and grit, because even though it might be something that you love to do, nothing's really that easy, right?
Yeah.
You gotta kind of gut it out, good days, bad days, and just understand that, you know, you were put on this earth for a reason. And the reason really does come down to what you started out with. It really comes down to love.
Yeah, that is incredible. Like, that is incredible what you just said. You know, the fact that when you, as a kid, you build that muscle, that resilience, and you build it and build it and build it, even when it's really tough, so that eventually, when you do find that thing that you lock into, you're good, you're golden, you just go, you just do it. And then when you come up against those bumps, you have that muscle, you know? It's almost like, oh, this is really hard right now, and I love this, but just like swim team, if I can get through that, then I can get through this, you know? Go ahead.
You've got real life experiences to fall back on. That, to me, is the whole idea. You were doing something that you didn't like to do. You didn't like to swim. It was really hard for you, and yet you pushed through it, and it was fantastic that you made it to the end of the season. You got most improved. To me, like, Carrie, that to me is the greatest medal of honor a child can ever have. To know that you started on the bottom of the pool, literally, right? Dragging about, you know. But you lifted yourself, and by doing so, you made it to the end of the season. You were first in your lane every single time, and you continued to grow and improve and develop that muscle. And you applied that to field hockey. You applied that to algebra. You applied that to a lot of different areas that may not have been your natural aptitude or your natural gift, but you stuck with it. And as you have developed your natural gifts and your natural aptitude, and I see you going for it, it's unbelievable to me to watch you as a young adult and the hours that you work and the things that you're willing to do to grow as a young professional and to improve and continue to work in your craft. It's incredible to me. It's just really... the source of pride that I have comes from you. It just is to see how you implement and continue to get better and better every day.
Wow. Thank you. Well, it comes from you, really. It does, because I watch you. I've been watching you, you know, these past 2 years. I've been watching you, and it's just, I see how you love what you do. You will love it.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like work to me. It really doesn't. It just is. I don't feel bad about it. To me, it's, you know, it's kind of like a stewardship. It's kind of like motherhood in a way too, right? So, you know, we've got, you know, clients who really are counting on me and this company to make sure they remain financially secure for the rest of their lives. That's an amazing that's an amazing responsibility. It's an amazing stewardship. And it's really, boy, talk about having faith in another human being, and I don't take that lightly. And to me, it's kind of fun to realize that I can have a real impact in a person's life that way.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that carries you through the tough times?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, and that muscle that we talked about.
Yeah, I've had to exercise it many times myself. There's no question about it.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I remember, you know, one time sticks out in particular to me.
Mm-hmm.
It was 8th grade, 2008.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was 13 years old, and I had a lot of stuff going on. I did,
Yeah.
you know, tough times.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to win the field hockey championship, you know, and
Yeah.
I wanted to, you know, make sure that I looked awesome for the 8th grade dance, and, you know, and I wanted to make sure that I was going to get into the high school that I wanted to get into, or, you know, go to the right high school.
Yeah.
So those were the things in my world,
Mm-hmm.
and you were there for all of them, and you were, you know, you helped me through all of them. And then over time, as I've come to learn on the other side, 2008 was also the crash of '08.
Yeah.
So talk about some tough times, you know. That fall specifically, when you were my field hockey coach and you made it to every single practice. I mean, granted, I had to tell you that that practice started a half an hour early just so that you would make it on time.
Right.
You know, but you were there for all my practices.
Mm-hmm.
While on your end of things, you were going through the crash of '08, you know. Market dropped 50%.
Right.
People were losing or were worried that they were going to lose everything.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting because I never felt that anxiety from you. You never took it out on me. You never took it out on anyone in the family. It's interesting because I never even realized the impact of 2008 as a kid because you were calm, cool, collected.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I see the other side and the gravity of what you had to handle, you know, 300 some families
Yeah.
that came to you, what was that like for you? Were you scared?
You know, honestly, yeah, I was scared. I mean, it was really difficult. We were in uncharted territory because we had not seen that kind of a dramatic fall. And it wasn't just the market, it was the uncertainty on a worldwide basis, just from an economic perspective. It was a banking crisis. That is much more severe than a regular recession, a business recession.
Mm-hmm.
And there was so much uncertainty. I'll never forget Hank Paulson being on his knees, begging Nancy Pelosi to pass a bill to give some relief to the American people. And it was just like, you gotta be kidding. Now the Treasury Secretary is begging. Like, you realize that nobody really knew what this thing was gonna look like on the other side, or if we were gonna get to the other side, because everybody was making comparisons at the time to the Depression, which was 20 years of really, really scary, scary times. So yeah, I was scared. It was really, really a hard time. I think that, you know, if you were to ask me what changed or what happened, I would have to say that it actually happened with one of my employees. It was really crazy. It was one of those days where it was an awful day and the phones were ringing, and at the end of the day, I kind of sensed that everybody was kind of on edge. And I asked him, I said, you know, how's everybody doing? Like, I was so caught up in taking care of our clients, and it occurred to me that, gosh, I had a whole group of staff people who are employees who are probably feeling it as well. Mm. And he said, well, yeah, he said, you know, we're talking to our friends and we're talking to people on the outside, and, you know, everybody's kind of worried about their jobs. Mm. You know, Carrie, it was like, wow, it was an epiphany for me. And I have to tell you, I will tell you, it wasn't until you asked me this question right now that it just struck me. I went into complete mom mode. Literally, I thought, wow. I pulled everybody together the next morning and I said, you know, guys, this has been a really tough time. And I'm so grateful that you're here and you're plugged in. And I also want you to know, nobody's going to lose their jobs. And the only thing I asked of them, I said, you know, right now, It's a really difficult time for us. It's even worse for our clients because nobody feels like they have any control. And these are the times when they need us now more than ever. So we're going to work harder than we've ever worked. We're going to proactively reach out to our clients, find out how they're doing. We don't have to know what's going to happen because we can't know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. The portfolio management and our economics, you know, we've got people who have advanced degrees in economics. I put them to work to find out, let's do comparisons. Let's compare this period of time to the Depression. What was going on in the Depression versus what's going on now? What are the similarities? What are the differences? What about markets? What about 1973 and 74? Let's get some real tangible comparisons so that at least we can kind of give people an idea of what happened then, what we might expect, and to let them know that we've got our finger on the pulse and that we will be there for them in every step of the way. Mm. It was interesting because it was mom mode. You know,
that's what a mother does.
It's what a mom.
That's what a mother does. You're there not just when things are great and when things are awesome, yeah, but you're there when things are rough, yeah, and when you're not really sure what's gonna happen. Right. You know.
But it's the belief in the you as a child. I believed in you kids. I believed in what your potential was. I believed in my employees, mm-hmm, and how much they cared about our clients because they knew how much I love our clients. And so they were an extension of me during that period of time, and they continue to be that for me. It's just, you know, at the end of the day, that's what people want. And it's not just sizzle either. You've got to have this substance. I think that was also the difference. A lot of advisors during that period of time were hiding out in their bunkers. Mm-hmm. They were scared. They didn't know what to say. It's hard. It's, you know, to have that compassion and have true empathy. I think that maybe my nursing background also helped with that because you have to be real with people. Yeah. You know, when people have a bad diagnosis, you can't tell them, oh, they're going to live forever. You can't tell them that chemotherapy isn't going to be hard. You got to be honest with people and just to let them know they're going to be right by their side, mm-hmm, as they go through it. And that's what we do. We're by our clients' sides. And I think that was the differentiating factor. As difficult a period of time it was, I think that's when we defined ourselves. That's when I learned what makes us different. Mm-hmm. That when it really matters, we go into mom mode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, you're a great financial planner and you're a great mom. The two come together. Mm-hmm. Really, they do come together. And I just have to say, you know, this video, we've been wanting to put this together for a couple months now. And I just want to use this as a thank you to you. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, when I graduated college, I had an idea. I had a dream, like I wanted to study acting. And I came to you and I said, hey, Mom, thanks for the college education, but I'm going left. I'm not going right, you know? And I'll never forget the day in Avalon when you said, okay, all right, great, awesome. 0% certainty in acting? Great, let's do it, let's go there. You know, and not only did you support me, but you opened our home so that I could live with you and Dad for the past 2 years, you know, and you opened Key Financial's doors to me so that I could work part-time as a communications analyst while also studying acting and what I really love to do. And the past 2 years have been amazing. They've been amazing. You know, watching you do what you love and to be by your side and to see you work every day and to model myself after you, you know, they've just been incredible. And, you know, I'm ready to go now. I'm signing my lease, hopefully if we get approved on Friday, and I'm gonna be out of here in 3 weeks. I'm heading to New York. And as someone who, you know, is going through this time of uncertainty of what's the next couple of years of my life gonna look like, do you have any advice?
You know what, Carrie, you have everything that you need to do everything you want. Because you are you. You kept swimming when most other kids would stop. Okay? You kept singing when you going. And you did it with such enthusiasm and joy. You have everything that you need to do everything that you want in your life. You are where I was when I left nursing, that period I'm uncertain. What in God's name was I doing? Going from an intensive care unit to being a financial planner, right? I didn't know what was I getting myself into. But there was something inside of me that I just felt like this is what I was meant to do. And you're going on that same journey. This is what you're meant to do. You're ready, Carrie. You have everything that you need. You're going to do awesome. Just be yourself. Keep going. Be open to whatever life throws at you. It's put in your path for a reason. Just believe that you have everything that you need to do all the things you want in your life. I can't wait. I can't wait to see the next 10 years. You're going to kill it.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you.
I always got you a phone call away, right?
I'll always be your mom.
Yeah.
I'll always be here.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you guys had as much fun as we did. And, of course, to all the moms out there and to you, happy Mother's Day.
Thank you, Carrie. Thank you so much. This is awesome.